please recite another Surah Fatiha for the Shuhada Islam. Tonight is the program for Ghadeer. Inshallah, we're going to have Manqibat. Brother Salim is here too, so he's going to say just a few words. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Eid Mubarak to everybody. So glad to see a big crowd here today. And I just want to make an announcement that our programs for the month of Muharram and Safar are listed on the wall over there. There's also a list of volunteer opportunities for whoever wants to volunteer. We are all hosts over here. Nobody's a guest over here, so we have to collectively take care of what needs to get taken care of. But the important thing is, as we all know, we have come up with a small budget for the 2 months that are coming up. And our goal is to collect about $10,000 to run the programs at the center. So your participation and your contributions are greatly welcome. And we are going to set up a system over here where you can pay by credit card, you can do a direct deposit, and there's volunteers in the finance committee. Brother Zafar is there, I am there, and Sister Sadia is there on the ladies' side. If there's any questions, you can also approach any one of the members over here. And inshallah, I wanted to just let everybody know that there are expenses, and we would like to run the programs as smoothly as possible. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Now, I'd like to invite Brother Salim to please come and recite Manaqib.
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. ایک بار اور صلوات بھیج دیں آپ حضرات مل کر. چار مصرے پیش کر رہا ہوں, سماعت فرمائے. کہ کسی بھی بزم میں جانا علی علی کہنا, کسی بھی بزم میں جانا علی علی کہنا, اور وجود اپنا بتانا علی علی کہنا, وجود اپنا بتانا علی علی کہنا, اور فرشتے آ کے لحد میں کریں گے تم سے سوال, کوئی جواب نہ دینا علی علی کہنا, کوئی جواب نہ. صلوات پڑھیں آپ حضرات مل کر. ایک بار اور صلوات بھیجیے. کوئی بات. ایک بار صلوات بھیجیے گا حضرات. 4 مصرے اور پیش کر رہا ہوں بطور خاص سماعت فرمائے کہ سن کے من کنتو کا نغمہ ہنس کے قمبر نے کہا سن کے من کنتو کا نغمہ ہنس کے قمبر نے کہا ارے ہائے کیا سوچا تھا کچھ لوگوں نے اور کیا ہو گیا ارے ہائے کیا سوچا تھا کچھ لوگوں نے اور کیا ہو گیا اور ہاتھ ملتے رہ گئے بے ساختہ سارے غنی اور ایک محنت کش زمانے بھر کا مولا ہو گیا ایک محنت کش زمانے بھر کا مولا ہو گیا سن کے من کنتو کا نغمہ. صلوات پڑھ دیں آپ حضرات. جناب ابو طالب کے حوالے سے کلام پیش کر رہا ہوں بطور خاص سماعت فرمائے کہ ابو طالب کا بیٹا ابو طالب کا بیٹا ابو طالب کا بیٹا ابو طالب کا بیٹا نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا غدیر خم کا دولہا ابو طالب کا بیٹا ابو طالب کا بیٹا ابو طالب کا بیٹا. صلوات بھیجیے آپ حضرات مل جل کر کہ نسب کچھ ایسا پایا نبی نے بیٹی دے دی نسب کچھ ایسا پایا نبی نے بیٹی دے دی اور شب ہجرت جو سویا خدا نے مرضی دے دی شرف کا عرش معلا شرف کا عرش معلا ابو طالب کا بیٹا ابو طالب کا بیٹا نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا اور علی مردے کو جلائے علی سورج پلٹائے علی مردے کو جلائے علی سورج پلٹائے کرشمے دیکھ کے جس کے زمانہ چکر کھائے نصیری سمجھ نہ پائے نصیری سمجھ نہ پائے خدا ہے یا ہے بندہ ابو طالب کا بیٹا نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا اور جو ان سے بغض رکھے گا بڑی مشکل میں پڑے گا جو ان سے بغض رکھے گا بڑی مشکل میں پڑے گا اور یہاں بھی ہاتھ ملے گا وہاں بھی ہاتھ ملے گا ہے بخشش کا مینارہ ہے بخشش کا مینارہ ابو طالب کا بیٹا، ابو طالب کا بیٹا، نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا۔ اور میرا ایمان علی ہے، میرا قرآن علی ہے، میرا ایمان علی ہے، میرا قرآن علی ہے۔ اور زمانے والوں سن لو، میرا سلطان علی ہے۔ شہنشاہی کا ادارہ شہنشاہی کا ادارہ ابو طالب کا بیٹا، ابو طالب کا بیٹا، نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا۔ اور ہوئی جب اس کی ولادت بتوں کی آئی شامت، ہوئی جب اس کی ولادت بتوں کی آئی شامت، اور مقدر دین کا جاگا ملی کعبے کو فضیلت، وقار خانہ کعبہ وقار خانہ کعبہ ابو طالب کا بیٹا، ابو طالب کا بیٹا، نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا، غدیر خم کا دولہا ابو طالب کا بیٹا۔ اور مکی سے جلنے والوں مکہ سے رشتہ توڑو، مکی سے جلنے والوں مکہ سے رشتہ توڑو، اور اگر غیرت ہے ذرا سی طواف کعبہ چھوڑو۔ مکی سے جلنے والوں مکہ سے رشتہ توڑو، اور اگر غیرت ہے ذرا سی طواف کعبہ چھوڑو۔ ہوا ہے اس میں پیدا ہوا ہے اس میں پیدا ابو طالب کا بیٹا، ابو طالب کا بیٹا، نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا۔ اور ملا جب مال غنیمت اکٹھا ہو گئی امت، ملا جب مال غنیمت اکٹھا ہو گئی امت، مگر جب دین نبی کو پڑی ہے خون کی ضرورت۔ ملا جب مال غنیمت اکٹھا ہو گئی امت، مگر جب دین نبی کو پڑی ہے خون کی ضرورت، نکل کر سامنے آیا نکل کر سامنے آیا ابو طالب کا بیٹا، ابو طالب کا بیٹا، نرالی شان والا ابو طالب کا بیٹا۔
Please say a loud salawat for Brother Salim Akbar. Now I would like to invite Maulana Sheikh Nuruddin. Please say a loud salawat.
صل على محمد
محمد وآل محمد صلوات
صل على محمد وآل محمد وارحم فرجهم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المتين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له وما من دونه من وال صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you and to mu'mineen and mu'minat around the world. Eid Sayyid Ghadeer Mubarak. Salawat. Very quickly before we get into this evening's discussion, just for the benefit of some of the young people who are here, right? We want to just very quickly remind, what is Eid Ghadeer? Because like the bigger kids that are here, they know. Inshallah, right? The younger people that are here, they know. But maybe some of the little kids, maybe they don't know. Maybe. So I feel like it's my wazifa to say a little something first for the youngest members of the audience, huh? So send a salawat for them, inshallah. What's so important about Eid Ghadeer? How come we get together to celebrate this momentous occasion so that, the young people can understand? Continuity is very important in life, that we follow through in life, right? Eid Ghadeer is a celebration of continuity. What that means, little guys, is this. When Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, when he was informed by Allah that he would be dying soon, he took everybody for the Hajj. This is the time that we're in now, the Hajj time, right? Hajj is just ending. The people, the Hujjaj, are going to start returning from Hajj now. So all of us who have friends and family who've gone on the Hajj, within the next week, the Hujjaj will be returning, right? And this is exactly what was happening in the days of Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The people had gone for the Hajjatul Wida, for the final farewell pilgrimage. Prophet had said, everybody, this is my last Hajj with you. Everybody should attend this Hajj so that you can attend this pilgrimage with Prophet for the last time of his life. And he announced to the people, this is my last Hajj. Anybody who can make this Hajj this year should attend. And so the crowd of the Hajj in that year was the most that it had ever been in those previous 10 years. People who had accepted Islam from around the Arabian Peninsula came to participate in the Hajj with Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam at this Hajjatul Wida. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Everybody was leaving the Hajj. Just like now, all of the Hujjaj are getting ready to leave, right? Everybody was leaving the Hajj. And there's a place outside of Makkah named Ghadeer Khum. This is a place where the Hujjaj, it's like, how can I explain it? Like in the old days, it's a train station or a bus depot. Yani, Hujjaj, the pilgrims all gather there, and from this area, they split out and separate to the different areas where they're going to return to. So who wants to go north from here. Who wants to go east from here. Who's going to go back to the south, go south from here, and so on and so forth. This is the disembarkation point, right? As Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was reaching this place, then the command came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that commanded Hazrat Rasul, Ya ayyuhar Rasul. Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Oh, you messenger, reveal that message which has been sent down to you from your Lord. So Hazrat Rasulullah gives the command. Everybody who's behind, he tells them to come forward. Everybody who's gone ahead, he tells them to come back. And he gathers the hujjaj there, the pilgrims there, under the hot sun. And it's at this place, with tens of thousands of Muslims witnessing the event, that Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam designated Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib as his successor. With these famous words, after his sermon, he said, Man kuntu mawlahu, fahadha Ali mawlahu. Whoever I have been his master, then this Ali will continue to be his master and his wali. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. And one by one, all of the Muslims who were there, one by one, all of the dignitaries and companions who were there, they came and met with Amir al-Mu'mineen under a tent that had been erected, and they put their hand in his hand and made the bay'ah, made that pledge of allegiance to Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. In less than a year, that pledge of allegiance will be broken. But we celebrate this day as a great Eid because it's the day that Imam Ali was selected and designated by Allah and by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the designated successor of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Salawatullah wa salam ala Muhammad. I'm going to leave that little summary there. I think that that's good enough because we have important things to talk about this evening. You know, we could spend the time talking about history, and we could spend the time talking about what happened at Eid al-Ghadeer and really make a big noise about it this evening. But I'm be honest with you, that's not my style. I have limited time with you, and for this limited time, we're going to talk about the medicine that we began talking about the last time we were together. Okay, we're going to continue on this discussion that we began last time so that we can get somewhere, because real work has to be done within our own hearts, within our own families, within our own communities, inshallah. Send a salawat, let's begin, inshallah. So we started our khutbah with this verse of Quran that you're very familiar with by now because we mentioned it twice before since we've been here with you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is with themselves. The verse goes on to say, وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ سُوءًا فَلَا مَرَدَّ لَهُ. When Allah desires for a people evil, that's how it's translated in the English. But you remember, I told you before, we don't like this. When Allah desires for a people hardship, difficulty. Because me and you, we so lazy, right? And we're so deluded and fooled by the West that we think hardship is evil. Let's be straight, we've been fooled. We've been fooled by Western culture to think that hardship, difficulty, hard times, test from Allah is something like a phenomenon. Some external anomaly that invades our life. We have some kind of perception that we should be living the good life all the time, happy, every day, fat money, everything good all day long, never any problem. And when problem happen, it must be something strange, it's something weird, it's out of the ordinary. This is Western thinking. We don't even recognize it. You know why? Because we're drinking the Kool-Aid. No, we're drinking the Kool-Aid hard too, right? We believe that life is supposed to be a life on the beach, enjoyment, relaxation. And if any hardship, any difficulty come, it's a problem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when He decides for hardship for people, difficulty, test for people, He calls it su in Quran, evil, because we so fat and lazy, we think that hardship is evil. Allah comes and says, whenever He desires hardship for you, there's no one who can turn it away from you. There's no one who can save you from that hardship once Allah decides that for you. And there's no one who can protect you from it. وَمَا مِن دُونِهِ مِن بَالٍ. And there's no one except Allah who can protect you, who can be your wali from that hardship. Understand the formula that's laid out here very quickly before we go on, because maybe you didn't get it last time I told you. There's a formula here. The first part of the formula says, Allah will not change your condition unless we change what's going on with ourselves. Right? So understand something. The power is put in whose hands? In whose hands is the power? I. Don't read the Quran wrong, huh? Because sometimes we read that Quran and we say, oh, Allah. No, Allah says, right? Allah says, you can't change your condition. Allah will not change your condition until you change what's wrong with you. We have to do work first. Change what's going on with us. Right? So the power is put in our hands. This is something that's beautiful about Islam. Really liberating about Islam. I want to develop, I've been threatening this for a number of years and I haven't put the real work into it. I want to develop a series of speeches called Islam is More American Than Christianity. Really, and we have to teach this to the people around us, right? Because in Christianity, you're born a slave to sin. Right? You're powerless in Christianity. You're a slave. You're bound by sin in Christianity. Huh? You're not a free person in Christianity. You're a slave to sin. And you have no power. There is nothing you can do to save yourself except Jesus Christ. That's it. You see it all the time on the road. You drive by, you see it say, except Jesus Christ. He's the only way. That's it. Go to church, hear what they say. Bring them here, hear what they tell you. They gonna tell you your deeds are not enough. Huh? The only thing that can save you is, what do they say? Grace. Yani you must accept Jesus Christ. Otherwise, you're done. Now, don't get me wrong. We as Muslims, we also believe something, not exactly like this, but something similar. Our deeds aren't really the measure of our success in that sense of the word. How can I describe it? We need grace also because these good deeds that we do, they're really in reality, they're really not enough. We need the lutf, what we say in Aqidah, the kindness, the rahmat, the mahabbat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we also say something similar, but we don't take the power away from the human being. And in America, what do we believe as Americans? Forget about religion. As Americans, what do we believe? And this is something that we as a culture, we believe. Everybody's born free in America, isn't it? You're born free and you have the opportunity. You should be able to grab yourself by your bootstraps and pick yourself up. Isn't that what they say in America? Huh? It's completely the opposite of Christianity. And actually, it's more in line with Islam. In this verse of Quran, Allah puts the power in our hands. Until we change what's going on with us, understand the formula here. Until we change what's going on with us, right? Allah's not going to help us. وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ سُوءًا. Allah's not going to help you. And people don't like to hear that. I got almost thrown out of San Jose for saying that. People think Allah's going to save them. Jump up here on the roof now. Jump off. And see if Allah save you. Flap your arms as hard as you can as you careen towards the asphalt. There's laws here. There's rules here that Allah made. One of them is gravity. There's laws here. There's rules here that Allah made. One of them is use your aql. Now, if you do be akli and get on the roof and jump off, you're subject to the law of gravity. What, you want Allah to jump in and save you even here now? Allah's not going to save you until you start doing something for yourself. We had a Rastaman. Y'all know what Rastaman is? Y'all don't know what Rastaman is. Google it. A Rastaman came in our church when I was a young man. And he stood up in the congregation until the collection plate came around. You know, collection plate got money in it, right? Collection plate come around, and the Rastaman grabbed 2 handfuls of money out the collection plate, and he said, God helps those who help themselves, and out the door. This is the Allah we believe in. That's the Allah we believe in. So this verse clearly says, until we change what's going on with ourselves, Allah's not going to save us. وَمَا مِن دُونِهِ مِن وَالٍ. And ain't nobody else going to save us either. Yo, Sheikh can't save you. One problem we as Shias have, right, is we look at the Maulana in the local masjid, the ulama in the country, like masalan, they can do something. They're human just like you. Just as weak as you are, just as vulnerable as you are, just as human as you are. And we look at the ulama like they're superheroes. That abba that they wear, it's recommended for every man to wear in his salat. It is not a cape. They don't have superpowers. What I'm trying to say, ain't nobody gonna save us. Nobody's gonna save us. Allah's not going to save us. The Sheikh isn't going to save us. Brother Nuruddin isn't going to save us. Who got to save us? Huh? Ourself. Send us salawat. The other day we were talking about something. We mentioned the other day that a lot of us are unhappy. Even though we got money. Even though our husbands are handsome and our wives are beautiful and our houses are secure and nice homes and nice neighborhoods and our cars run well and everybody's pretty okay. Like when you go to the Muslim community, very rarely you find somebody that's really suffering. When you do find someone that's really suffering, it's the duty of the rest of us to assist that believer. Right? We should take a page out of the Jews' book. You ever seen a broke Jew? They have them, but you never see them because the other Jews take care of him. Huh? You don't end up coming here on Eid to get sadaqah. His people take care of him. Huh? How about a broke Sikh? You ever seen one of them? A broke Bohri. Huh? No, it doesn't exist. It does exist, but they take care of themselves. Right? We were talking the other day that we're unhappy. Okay? Me, I'm starting to liberate myself from this unhappiness, but we all suffer from it. We're unhappy no matter how much stuff we got. No matter how beautiful your wife is, badbacht wants another one. Don't do it. Huh? No matter how handsome our husband is, no, we won't go there. Send us salawat. It's like you can't satisfy us, and no matter what we have and no matter what material things we possess, we're still unhappy, and you can see it in the society around us. You can see it in these superstars that die from suicide. You guys ever watch Parts Unknown? Huh? Anthony Bourdain? I mean, fantastic show. I love that show. I used to watch that show. I can't even watch the reruns anymore. This fool went and killed himself with a drug overdose. He got everything, man. He got money, CNN contract, travel all over the world, eat the most delicious foods. He got enough money that, you know, I don't mean to make light of the situation, but he got enough money that he could have done better than that. Really. And yet, he ends up a complete waste. Kills himself with a drug overdose. Robin Williams. This guy kills himself. He committed suicide. And these are superstars. These are people that are famous. And when we look at them, we're like, oh, they got everything, right? They got cars and mansions in the Hollywood Hills and everything, man. Their wife is prettier than mine. Her husband is better looking than mine. Whatever the case is, right? We compare ourselves to them and we say, we're no one. And they're so happy and so fortunate. Then they hang themselves in their closet. You remember what we had said was causing this problem the other day when we talked? We had said that it's because we're not living for anything. Our lives are empty. Really, let's be honest. The reason we're unhappy is because what do we do every day? We get out of bed. We make the salat. And a zombie salat too, right? Like a dead salat, right? And we make that zombie salat, and then we stagger out to the car, and it's a commute to work, and we get to work, and we do our job, and we get home, we get done, we drive the commute back home, we get home, we eat dinner, we go to bed, and tomorrow we do it all over again. And you go and you ask these people, what are you living for? When you explain it to them, it's like they're living to go to work. I'm living to pay these bills, I'm living to take care of this family, I'm living to go to work, to drive through the LA traffic or whatever, to get to work, to deal with my boss, to drive back. Can you really have any question as to why people blow their own brains out? Now, be honest, if that's your life, I'll buy you the razor blades. If that's what your life is, day in, day out, and that's what you're living for, really, I'm being harsh with you tonight. You're sucking up perfectly good oxygen. Really, our life is empty. There's no meaning in our life. We're not living for anything. We live to go to work. We live to pay the bills. We're not living for any great goal, any great ambition. Our ambition is to be just another cog in the wheel. That's it, in the machine. We don't have any ambition. We're not living for anything. And so therefore, we're unhappy. And when we die for nothing. If you don't live for something, when you die, you will die for nothing. All your days of driving to work and coming home and paying your bills and taking care of your wife and taking care of your kids, it'll be forgotten in a year. Your wife will get remarried. These ladies sit here and say, no, after you, I'm not going to get married again. And psh. Your kids love you, they will cry, but that pain will also slip away. Life will go on. We will live and die for nothing until we live for something, that we have some great ambition. And that's where we're going to start this little discussion this evening, inshallah. Send a salawat. This religion is for ambitious people. If you are not ambitious, there's a church around here that you can go to. This Islam is for ambitious people. People who want more. Most of us, we're not getting all that we can get out of the religion because we practice what I call Dina Hadda Agali. The religion of the bare minimum. The deen that we practice is a religion that helps us to just get by. So as an example, Shahr Ramadan comes, right? And we say, in Shahr Ramadan, my sleeping has the barakat, the blessings of praying, right? So I'm going to sleep all day. No, really, right? We're going to sleep all day. And when I sleep all day in the fast, what's going to happen? All them hours of sleep, it's going to be counted as salat. Or for instance, here's how we treat the deen. Dina hadagali. Deen of the bare minimum. We say, Laylatul Qadr is equal to 1,000 months, right? I'm busy in Shahr Ramadan. I can't make it to the masjid. What I'm going to do, what night am I going to come on? I'm going to come on Laylatul Qadr because that night is worth 1,000 nights, right? Most of us, we live our life, our religious life like this. We try to get over and get by. We're trying to scam the system to get the most out of it with the least amount of work in. But the deen is made for that person, right, who prays during the Shahr Ramadan, in the night stays up and sleeps in the day. So he's getting the barakat of the sleeping and the prayer, and he's getting the barakat of making the salat in the night. Deen is revealed for that person who goes to the masjid every night in Shahr Ramadan and Laylatul Qadr. He's getting the most benefit out of the deen. Religion is for the ambitious. This deen of Islam, you have to have ambition. So I'm going to upset you and I'm going to give you a hadith. Don't say Nuruddin said. Say Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam said. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says, if the ambition of a man is only what he eats, then his value is what comes out of him. I'm going to say it again so you understand. And I'm known for putting things in plain English sometimes, right? I won't put this one in plain English for you. I think that you can understand what I'm saying. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, if a man's ambition is only what he can eat, then his value is what comes out of, okay, we won't ask that question. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. What's this mean? If your ambition is only dunya, if your ambition is just something small, petty, like what I can eat and what is in my stomach and what's on my back. And you see some of the people around us, right? I saw a guy got put out of his girlfriend's house in my neighborhood. It was the funniest darn thing I ever saw in my life. This guy must have been living with this girl for a couple years, right? They got into some argument and she kicked the guy out. The only thing that he owned, he didn't pay the rent, his name wasn't on the lease, he didn't have nothing in the house except 17 pairs of sneakers. You as a man, you live with a woman, and the only thing you got to show for yourself is 17 pairs, not even shoes. Not even like Clarks of England. Nah, you got sneakers. If I was the woman, I'd have thrown him out too. Maybe when we got to sneaker number 3. If your ambition is only in these dunyavi things, what's your worth? Says Imam Sadiq. He says you're worth stuff. That's what this hadith means. Mu'min is supposed to have great ambition. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, Khayrul himami a'laha. The greatest ambition is the highest. So when we talk to the young people, right, have great ambition. Because we have this idea of a mu'min, like mu'min, I don't want anything in life. Mu'min, if you just give me a rusty old Honda Civic and a little kharabe to live in, I am mu'min and I will live there. And this is not what a believer is. We have this idea of believer, that believer is sometimes a little ignorant, maybe even illiterate. Believer has to be poor. Like if you see somebody drive with Mercedes-Benz or BMW, then you have some shak in his iman, right? You're like, be shak, this one is not a mu'min. But the guy who comes in with the rusty car, you say, mashallah, mashallah. Even though Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he says wealth is a way to protect iman. Poverty is a danger to faith. We have this idea of mu'min that he should be dhalil and beat down, and Like when I go someplace, people say, what kind of sheikh is this? I talk loud, I'm brash, I'm sometimes move around too much. They say, no, sheikh should be like this. خیلی کم حرف بزنه برادران و خواهران من کم کم خوابم میآید. They say, what kind of Maulana is this? Because we have an idea that mu'min, he should be somebody low, with no ambition in life either. His ambition is akhirat. Now he has no ambition in life. Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Muhammad Baqir says, the sharaf of a man, the honor of a human being is in his ambitions. Don't judge somebody by how much money they have in their pocket. Judge them by what their ambition is. Because look, a person with a big ambition can go to big places. Even if he's broke. He got a big ambition, he'll get there. The person with a small ambition, even if he got money, he's going to spend that money in a stupid way and he'll get nowhere. A man's worth, a person's worth, is you judge and you see what's their ambition. So the other day we were talking about marriage, I think, me and some brothers, and we were trying to define like what's the things we're looking for in a spouse. Definitely ambition should be there. We didn't say wealth. Because a lot of times we say like you got to have this job and this much money and this kind of house and this kind of car, and then you wonder why the people aren't getting married till they're 35. Huh? If I was a woman, I don't want to marry no 35-year-old man. I'm going to be honest with you. No, I'm straight with you. I'm not saying anything bad about you if you're 35, right? But me, if I was a woman, I'm not marrying no 35-year-old man. And the same, sisters, don't get mad at me, but if I'm a young man looking to get married, I've never been married before, I'm not marrying no 35, 40-year-old sister. I'm sorry. And what's holding us back from getting married early? Because we feel like money's more important than ambition. These young ladies should be getting married. Be honest, you get mad at me if you want, you throw me out, don't bring me back, do me a favor. Y'all don't know me. I don't like this job. I want to stay home. These young ladies should get married in high school. The young men should be in college when they marry them. Yeah, I know I'm crazy. But you look around you. When is the human beings getting boyfriends and girlfriends? When do you get turned on and start looking at the opposite sex and say, hey, they don't look too bad? It's long before high school. Huh? And then we make our young people wait until they're done with college, and we wonder like, how'd they end up with boyfriend, girlfriend? Banda khuda, you did it. They got urges just like everybody else. Get them married young, help them. You can't expect a young man who's in college to support a young lady who's in high school. And don't tell me it can't be done. It can't be done because my daughter did it. My daughter got married in high school to a young man who was in college. Today they have 2 kids and she has her associate's degree. Now she complains sometimes and she says, I started college with my other sister and she has a bachelor's now and I only have an associate's, and I have to tell her, true, she does have a bachelor's and you do only have an associate's, but you also have a husband and 2 kids and she doesn't have that. So in my book, you're ahead of the game. Ambition is the measure of a person's wealth, a person's value. Send a salawat. Let's continue, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now I lost my notes. Send another salawat. So ambition is the means by which, and the mu'min should have very great ambition. It is exceptionally important that we work on this ambition of ours. Please send another salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Where'd it go? 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 I thought I saved it here. Here it is. Rancho Ida Ghadeer. Salawat. Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, he says there's no greater honor for a person than great ambition. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he said when you desire something, when you want something, then pursue it with great ambition. We should want great things, and we should aim towards great things. We should desire great things. When a mu'min makes a plan, it should be a big plan. And when a mu'min wants something, it should be a big something. We shouldn't satisfy ourselves with small things. We should want great things. And yet it takes hard work to get great things, but ambition is determining the value of a people, the value of a person, the value of a community. What happened to our ambition? How did we lose our ambition? What happened? Because we limited for time, I'm going to cut straight to the chase. How did we lose our ambition? Where did it go? Send a salawat. Y'all ever heard of yas? Y'all know what yas is? Yas. Yas is hopelessness. It's a great sin in Islam. It's one of the number one sins in Islam. You go and you look at this book by Ayatollah Dastaghaib, Shahid Mihrab, and the book of his called The Great Sins in Islam, Gunahan Kabira. The first sin mentioned in there is yas, hopelessness. Now he talks about yas in relation to Allah, that the believer should never ever become hopeless from the mercy of Allah. This is the number one sin that we can commit. Lots of times when you ask people about the number one sin, they tell you it's shirk. Shirk is actually second or third in this book. The greatest sins in Islam, Gunahan Kabira. Right? Number one sin is yas, hopelessness in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To lose hope in Allah, basically what we're talking about, it means to have a bad opinion of Allah. It's to believe that Allah doesn't like you or doesn't love you or doesn't care for you or that He wants to punish you. To have yas in Allah, to be hopeless from the mercy of Allah, is a very great sin. And inshallah, none of us are affected with that. Usually believers aren't, because you know, this place is a hospital. Masjid is a hospital. Didn't we say that already? Masjid is a hospital. We're all sick in here. In a hospital, most of the people are sick people. You have some doctors, some nurses, but most people in the hospital are sick people. We come here because we need medicine. Right? So, we're sick people. Where did our ambition go? How do we lose our ambition? Because of yas. But you see, even though we are sick people, we have belief we have hope in Allah. So how does yas affect, hopelessness affect our ambition? Because while we inshallah, because this is a whole nother discussion, hope in Allah. Inshallah, we have hope in Allah and we have not become despairing of the mercy of Allah, right? Inshallah, we're holding on to that. The other type of yas is that we've become ma'ayus in ourselves. And this is just as great a sin. It's not any less than being ma'ayus in Allah, to lose hopelessness in Allah. We've become hopeless in ourselves. What has sapped our ambition, what has robbed us, is because we don't think we can do it. That's what our problem is. Where did our ambition go? We have no belief in ourselves. I can show it to you very easily. Experience that you've probably had in your community, that you've seen it in your community. Someone comes with a fantastic idea, a big idea, right? And he comes and he presents it to the community, and the community immediately says, it'll never work. Like the person has a good idea, and maybe he's not saying we can do this now, but he has an idea, sister has an idea, they come with the idea, they pitch it to the community, and the community says, it'll never work. So the brother says, or sister says, well, why not? The first thing they're going to say is, we don't have any money. Then you're going to say, well, inshallah, we can raise the money. Well, the government will never let us do it. Well, inshallah, we can get the permit. Well, look, even if we get the permit and we get the money, the inspector's going to look at us funny. Then we say, no, we know the people, they're going to come, they're going to make it happen. No, the neighbors will complain. You've had this experience before in your life. I know you have. This person who's tearing down every idea that you come with, he's ma'ayus. He's hopeless. I remember one time, I'll give you an example, practical example. We had an idea. You remember the center in Tampa? It's on the side of I-4, huge interstate that runs in between Tampa and Orlando, right? I tell the brothers, I come one day, I tell the brothers, let's put a billboard on the masjid property and we'll sell advertising space. Immediately, right? And it's not a bad idea. And I'm saying, let's think about it. Let's get a cost prospectus, find out how much it'll cost. If we put a billboard on this property with the highway there, we'll never have to do fundraising again. Immediately the brothers say, oh, they're going to make you sell alcohol and advertise the casino. Or when you say, okay, maybe there's a way we can make it that we control who advertises there. You know, we can control who puts their advertising up. They say, no, the government will never give you the zoning change to put the sign there. But wait a minute. There's a trailer park 2 blocks down the road that has a billboard on their property. If the zoning department will zone them for it, why won't they zone us? Oh, we'll never raise the money for it. This person ma'ayus. And when they talk like that, you want to go out and get them a pack of razor blades. You're that hopeless, you don't think we can do anything? Any idea that somebody comes with, they beat down. Look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to open another company. We're going to do this. No, it'll never work. The FBI is watching us. I don't even know why y'all invest in cameras. If you know the FBI is watching, something happens here, you call them up and say, hey, August 17th, what happened at the center? Like, people get upset and get nervous about nothing and no reason at all. We've become ma'ayus, hopeless in ourselves, in our own abilities. Betore kol, across the board. It affects us spiritually. We don't think we can change. We've lost hope in our ability to change. And so we don't change. We don't even try anymore. We don't even work at it anymore. We've lost hope in ourselves to achieve, to be ambitious and to aim for things. So we don't even try anymore. And part of the problem why our lives are empty and we're unhappy and our kids are unhappy, our wives are unhappy, our husbands are unhappy, is because we're not living for anything. We are people that lack ambition and lack hope in ourselves. And for as long as we suffer from this condition, what do we expect that we'll achieve? This is a big problem that we're facing in our own personal life. It holds us back in our spirituality. It holds us back in our relationships with our spouse. It holds us back in our relationships in our community. It keeps us back from growing. In multiple ways, the lack of ambition and the hopelessness that has washed over us as a community is what's crippling us. I'll show you why. I'll explain to you why. Send the salawat. How many Jews do you, and I'm not picking on the Jews because I know this is going out on the thing. We love our Jewish brothers. There are brothers in believing in the Allah and in the books and revelations that Allah has sent. We're just using them as an example. We're not trying to beat them down, right? Let's use our Jewish brothers as an example. How many Jews do you think are in the country? Give me a number. Anybody know? Huh? No. Give me a number like in millions. I don't know how to do percentage. I'm mildly retarded, Aga Salman.
6 to 8 million.
Huh? 6 to 8 million is the very correct number. They say about 7 million in the country. Okay? How many Jews would you say are in the world? Huh? 20 to 25 million, but we're going to say 20 million. That's the number that's usually put out there. But they say that really it could be even less than that. And these guys run everything. And it's not like a conspiracy theory that I'm trying to put on you. You don't have to go read the protocols of the elders of Zion. You know? You just watch the TV. See who the producer is. See who the executive producer is. See who the director is. See who, look into who's running things, right? And you see that these Jews are very much embedded in the society. I mean, they can twist and turn the foreign policy of America, and there's only 7 million of them in the country. How many Muslims are in the country? Brothers, I told y'all with this 5%, 1% business, okay? I failed 7th grade. I did 6, 7, 7, 8. Don't come to me with percentage. Huh? Absolutely not. It's closer to 10 million Muslims in the country. It's closer to 10 million Muslims in the country. What do y'all control? What do you run? Huh? Where's your political action committee? These guys got 7 million of them in the country, and they got a political action committee. You got 10 million of you in the country, and you don't got nothing. You own your little, I'm going to make fun of you now. You own your little rinky-dink business on the corner, and you think you arrived now. You think you got somewhere now. You make a couple hundred, even you make a $500,000 a year. Even you make $1 million a year. You're still not as happy as I am, and I make $35,000 a year. You with your big house and your fancy car and your fat bank account. I'm broke and I'm happy. And you got all the money and big house and big car and you're unhappy. Shall I go get the razor blades now? No, but for real, where's our stuff? And you know why we don't have anything? Because we don't have any ambition. And we have absolutely, positively no hope in ourselves. 7 million Jews in the country, they can twist and turn everything, and we think they got more money than us. Absolutely not. You ever seen these guys? Go to New York City, Crown Heights. Go see these Jewish neighborhoods. You guys got way more money. We as Muslims, we have way more money than they do. What's the difference? I mean, we got just as many doctors. We have just as many successful businessmen. We have just as many lawyers. We have just as many professionals. We're not any less. How come they got all that and we got nothing? You know why? Because we blow our money on a Zuljina. No, I'm going to start trouble with y'all tonight. I don't care if you don't call me back. I got a job. Y'all, and I'm not making fun of anybody who got horses or who wants to do anything with horses. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful tradition. But hey, tone it down a little bit. No, for real. Because I've seen the videos. Cats in Karachi pull out Zuljina, pulls it down the road a little bit. He collects $250,000 in those baskets for Zuljina. Where's that money go? Horse feed. All that money goes to house that horse, buy hay, take care of him, brush him, comb him, pay people to take care of him, right? All that money turns into cow patties. Or horse patties in this particular case. And we blow tens of thousands of dollars on khurafat like this. And this is just one example, right? I've seen people do just absolutely ridiculous stuff with their money. Person with 2 kids gonna go get a 5-bedroom house. Now I understand you might have your family come stay with you sometimes, but tone it down a little. Mommy and daddy living in the house alone, but there's 3 cars. Like, tone it down a little. Do something with that money. Have some ambition. Make a plan. Make an organization. But do something with your life. Strive for something. Have an ambition. Go after it. And die in that path. You die shahadat. Really, a lot of us, we think shahadat is only on the battlefield. Work for Islam. Sacrifice for Islam. Have some ambition for Islam. And then if you die in your bed with your grandkids on your side, it's shahadat. And if you continue to buy gummy bears and eat Sour Patch and live the big life eating snacks and have a nice fancy car and mama's dressing good and you're dressing good, you will die and you'll die for nothing. And in a year or two, even them who love you will forget you. So, what's really important for us to understand on this Eid al-Ghadeer, great holiday in Islam, is that Allah, Prophet, A'imma alayhim as-salam ajma'een, salawat, they want more from us. And we're expected to achieve great things. And we can achieve very great things if we just do 2 things. Get some ambition and have some hope in Allah and in ourselves. And everything is in our hands. We can achieve anything. But we have to build ambition and create hope in our hearts towards Allah and in ourselves, inshallah. It's understood? Okay, then we'll finish here. We ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should have mercy on our souls. Ya Allah, forgive us of our sins. Ya Allah, guide us to your straight path. Set firm our feet in your path. Strengthen our limbs in your service. Hasten the appearance of your Imam and make us his helpers and supporters upon his return. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahil aliyyul azim. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. If there's questions or comments, please feel free now. Questions, comments? No, nothing? Oh yes, Agha Salman.
Okay, so what is the reason for hopelessness in our community, as you described?
I mean, what's the reason for it?
Yeah, I mean, is anybody troubleshoot why is the hopelessness in our community?
There's a number of reasons, and I didn't get into it tonight, right? Because it would make the speech a little long, but let's just mention some of them. One of the things that causes us to become hopeless is hanging out with hopeless people. And really, right? When we hang out with hopeless people, right? And many of the people around us, our friends in school or the people at work, are hopeless people, right? Like somebody was telling me the joke about somebody they knew. I can't remember him now, right? Somebody they knew. He said every day at the end of work, this guy would say, "Now I got to go home to my ugly wife and my ugly kids." Imagine you live your life that way, right? Na'uzu billah. Like I couldn't work with somebody like that. Me and him would get into it. Me and him would get into trouble together. But these are if you're around hopeless people, then you also become what? Hopeless. Another thing that causes us to be hopeless is because we don't read Quran enough. And I know people be like, "Oh, these sheikhs, they are so full of it. They come here and they tell us read more Quran like it's just a panacea for all ills and cures all ailments." It can. You know, you sit down and you read that one, because a lot of times we only read Quran in Arabic and we don't understand Arabic, so we're just doing a ritual. We're just performing an empty ritual. We read it in Arabic, we get our barakat, don't get me wrong, but Allah wants us to understand Quran. It's not good enough to just read it in Arabic. We have to understand it. And when you read the stories like the story of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, this should give hope to somebody. That sometimes Allah puts you in a difficult position only to raise you up. Hazrat Yusuf could not have become the de facto leader of Egypt at that time, because even though he wasn't the Pharaoh, look at the job that he took. When Pharaoh offered him the job to be his right-hand man, Yusuf said no. There's two reasons why Yusuf said no. Yusuf said no because he did not want his hands directly involved in the governance of the state, because there might be haram going on. So he said, no, I don't want that position. I'm a very good accountant. Put me in charge of the storehouses. Let me tell you something. In any country, in any organization, the person who controls the bank controls the country. Hazrat Yusuf says, put me in control of the storehouses, basically the marketplace at that time. Now Yusuf has control of the entire country. He's having the economy in his hand. But the Pharaoh is at his hands. And he could have never achieved that high level unless he went to jail. Unless he was accused of rape and sent to jail, he could have never gotten there. There was no other way for him to get there. But Allah wanted him there. Allah said, we want Yusuf in charge. So Allah said, we're going to make it happen. We're going to send him to jail. Me and you, when we run into hard times in life, we become ma'ayus. Some little problem afflict us, we become hopeless. We say, why, Vela, it's problem again in my life, and we're ready to give up, right? We don't realize that Allah put us in that problem to raise us up. This is a physical world. So for instance, you want a better job. You want your supervisor's job. We'll give you an example real quick of how we're ma'ayus. You want your supervisor's job, right? But Allah has you fired. And you're like, man, I wanted the supervisor job, but Allah made it that I got fired. Now you go through 6 months of unemployment. You're suffering. Hey, your wife is looking at you. Chap, chap, nigga. She's like, what are you doing? 6 months. You're sitting around the house. What's going on? You know what's going on in that 6 months? Just so I can make you laugh a little bit. Allah is preparing the way for you. You're going through that hardship because this is a physical world and physical things need to happen. That supervisor position that you wanted, it's gonna be open at another company that you've applied to. But the guy who's occupying it now, he's still alive. Allah just gave him cancer. That cancer is gonna eat him up, kill him, get him out of the way, and the job will be open. They're gonna come by your resume, they're gonna say, hey, he fits the qualifications. Let him come on in. And this person comes in now and gets the job. The job you wanted 6 months ago at the other company has been opened for you at this company, but it took 6 months to make it happen. It takes time for things to happen. We go through the hardship, become ma'yus, lose our hope, and say, forget it, I don't want to be a supervisor anymore. I'm going to go get a job at Burger King. And then we wonder, like, why is my life so terrible? So, hopelessness comes from this, that we, number one, we hang around hopeless people. Number two, we don't read enough Quran and really have faith in Allah and belief in Allah, right? And the third thing that really causes a great deal of hopelessness is that we haven't built a real relationship with Allah. Every dua we read, it's a dua somebody else wrote. Now understand, we're supposed to read these duas in Mafatihul Janan, in Sahifatul Sajjadiyah. They're very important to read. But when was the last time you talked to Allah from your own heart? Express yourself in your own words, with your own difficulties, and just sat down and talked to Allah. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Because I talk to Allah all the time. I get in the shower and I'm in there showering and I'm talking to Allah. And she comes to the bathroom and she says, what are you doing in there? Khafesha, be quiet. This is me and Allah. Huh? Don't talk too much. Huh? Or I'm going to bed at night and she hears me over there. She says, what are you doing over there? We don't talk to Allah. We don't have a relationship with Allah. We haven't built a loving relationship. Love takes time to build. We want to get married and we want to fall in love one time. There's no such thing as love at first sight. Anybody come to me, tell me about love at first sight, I'm going to punch you right in your head. It doesn't exist. Huh? We want to fall in love at first sight with Allah. Did you see him? No, it takes work to fall in love. It takes experience to fall in love. Huh? It takes time to fall in love. It's not that you get married and now we're in love. We read the act. Qabilto. Now we're in love. No, love takes time and experience and familiarity and hardship, ups and downs, and this is what creates love. Have we had that with Allah? No. So these things is what make us hopeless. Hopelessness has deep roots, and the best thing I can tell you is when you see hopelessness, Agha Salman, punch him in the belly.
Well, the second question is related to the same question. You just said about, you give the example, like for example, the supervisor position and everything, you know, and the other guy got the cancer. It was just like, it's just example.
Yeah, it's just a silly example to keep it entertaining, Agha Salman.
Good example.
Asiyatam nakon.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is how much the predetermined things are in our life and what are the things we determine, you know, like for example, what is going to happen has been planned by Allah and few things have been planned by us. So where these both things, you know what I mean?
We were having this discussion with one of the brothers earlier, right? Like what has Allah decreed, what has Allah planned for us, and what's in our control.
Right.
The understanding, so I'm going to mention this very quickly and just understand the rule. The rule is this. We are not completely free, but we are also not completely under the control of Allah, that Allah predetermines things for us. We have a free choice and we can choose, right? There are some things that are predetermined by Allah, but in my studies and in my understanding of this thing, most of our issues in life are determined by ourselves. Yani, by the choices and decisions that we make regarding ourselves. Allah loves us. He wants what's best for us. He's set the game in our favor. It's in our benefit. Even the difficulties and hard times that we face are good for us. He loves us. Most of the hardships that we faced in our life, most of the defeats that we have are our own problem. And that's exactly what this verse of Quran that we read says. You know, that Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is with themselves. This clearly shows that we are in control. There's another verse, right? And I can't remember it out the top of my head, where Allah says, Allah never takes away the blessings of a people until they change what is in themselves. So if Allah gives you a barakat, right? He never takes that barakat away from you, ever, until something changes in you that you don't deserve that barakat anymore. He doesn't determine that you're going to change that way. You do. So by and large, we're largely free. There are some consequences. There are some predetermined things. By and large, we make our own decisions and our own choices, and our success and our failures are by and large dependent on our own works. Yeah. No, alhamdulillah. Any other questions or comments? Yes, brother. So one thing is that Allah has set us free. So the brother wants to know, how do we aim? What ambitions should we aim for? How should we know what they are? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us free. He's given us the freedom of choice to choose what things we want to achieve. But there's some criteria. We should try to achieve those great things, those big things that are not just in our own benefit, but in the benefit of others. When we do something, when we determine to achieve something, some big ambition, the niyat that makes the difference, the intention that makes the difference, is that we have a selfless, giving, generous intention. When we want to do something just for ourselves, very selfishly or self-centeredly, right? This can really increase our arrogance. It can really affect us in a bad way. But if we make a big ambition, like for instance, someone can say, I'm going to become a doctor. As an example, because everybody wants to be a doctor and make fat money, right? Even though sometimes it's possible a plumber can make more money than a doctor. right? But we're going to use doctor because it's an example. We use the example of doctor. Everybody wants to be a doctor. Imagine if someone says, I want to be a doctor so I can drive fancy cars and have big house, right? Being a doctor, he can get that. But you know what I've learned about fancy cars? Because I've owned a couple of them. They get awfully boring, awfully fast. The Corinthian leather seats, the Dolby surround sound stereo system, the dual control AC system, the heated seats. It's fun for the first week or two, maybe even the first month, but I'm very difficult to impress. Within a month, I'm bored. This ain't no fun no more. Sure, it goes 0 to 60 in this many seconds. Psh. It also costs me more at the gas pump. You know? What if someone becomes a doctor for that? I want to get rich and I want to be famous. That's one way to set ambition, right? For yourself, I want these great things. Imagine if someone says, I want to become a doctor so I can be successful and wealthy for the sake of my community. Now understand something, right? He's still going to get the big house. He's still going to get the BMW. He's still going to get all the nice things that go with being a doctor. But now he's also going to get the self-fulfillment that he's working and living for a greater cause than his own satisfaction. And now he's going to be happy. And when he gets in that Mercedes-Benz is different for him now. It means something for him now. That big house, he didn't buy the big house just so he could enjoy it. When he bought the big house, he said, Ya Allah, I'm going to buy this big house with my big doctor money so I can have big majlis in it. Huh? Because he has a big ambition. So now he's happy with his big house. Because his big house got a big Husseiniya in the big basement. Huh? So now he's happy with that house. That big Mercedes-Benz that he drives all around his big town, he can take it to his big masjid that he helped them build. Right? Now he's living a life because he made an ambition that was greater than himself. So the most important thing when we set ourselves out for a big ambition, a great ambition, is not just how we can ourselves get by and survive, which is it's necessary. We want to enjoy our life. But what can we do to help others? What can we do to grow Islam? And we should never think that helping Islam is like contrary to making money. Like, if I'm going to help Islam, I have to be broke. And if I want to be rich, then I have to not help Islam, because the only way to save money is stop giving it to these guys at the masjid. You know why, I'm going to tell you something now because they did fundraising tonight before we close it down. You know why most of you are suffering financially? You got complaints financially. You can't quite make the bills all the time. You're suffering. You're stressed out. You're wondering, why do I even live in California? The cost of living is so high. You're trying to figure out what's going on. It's because you don't give enough. And I'm not sitting here telling you that because I'm the Sheikh that you brought here to give me my hadiyah, and now I want to make sure that I get paid. Look, if you send me home broke, it's fine. That's happened before too. It don't mean nothing to me. All right? Let's understand something. I'm telling you this for your own benefit. Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, when you're in straitened circumstances, suffering financially, do business with Allah by means of sadaqah. I'll show you a beautiful example. My son and I used to ride bike every day to go to the mechanic shop. On the way to the mechanic shop one day, I see my son pull over and give some money to a homeless person. And I said, MashaAllah, barak, in my heart, MashaAllah, barakallah, alhamdulillah. He gave sadaqah, alhamdulillah. So we go to work and we work all day, and at the end of the work day, I say, boy, I'm thirsty. Go to the store and get something for us to drink. He says, Baba, I don't have any money. I said, how come you don't have any money? You left out of your house this morning with no money in your pocket? Like we in our family, we try to tell our kids, when you go out, have something in your pocket. You don't know what's going to happen out there, right? Put some money in your pocket. So I said, wait, you left your house this morning with no money in your pocket? He said, no, I came out with $10. I said, so where's your $10? He said, I gave it to the homeless guy this morning. My immediate reaction that I felt in my heart was to say, you gave $10 to a homeless guy? But I had to control my tongue. I don't want to tell him that, right? So I control my tongue. And I say, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, you gave your whole $10 to the homeless guy? I told him, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. Now wait for the barakat. You know what happens to most of us? We make a dua, we give a sadaqah, we do something for the sake of Allah to get some answer from Him, but we never look for the answer. We expect magic to happen. Like Allah's gonna write in lipstick on our wall, yes. Oh, Allah, it's yes? Oh, I understand now. We have to look for the answer, right? We have to seek out and look at the pattern, because there is a pattern in life. There is a pattern in life. Pay attention to it. What you give in the way of Allah, it comes back to you at least tenfold. So I told my son, you gave $10, Wallahi Lazim, you're going to get back 100. I guarantee it. So he's looking at me like, because they think I'm crazy. You know, my family, they think I'm kind of... No, because when hurricane come, I'm the guy who sits down on the porch and roots for the hurricane. I want the hurricane to come and tear everything up, destroy it, wreck it. You know why? Because that's when we're going to get our problems right. Black man and white man will find peace and love when everybody's house is destroyed. Okay? Me and you are going to get closer when we all have to stand up in the same bread line. Okay? This place gets wiped out, crushed down, we're all going to get a lot friendlier with each other, I guarantee you. Because when everything's taken away, the only thing we're left with is each other. So that's why when hurricane come, I'm on the porch like, Yalla hurricane, bring it. And my wife is like, are you nuts? I'm like, is your house insurance paid? Don't worry. We're going to get our house insurance money and we're going to get FEMA money. Yalla hurricane. What are you worried about? Right? So they think I'm nutty fruitcakes, right? And I told my son, you're gonna get your $100. You gave this homeless guy $10, you're gonna get your $100, guaranteed. A couple weeks later, a brother comes by, says, look, I have this to sell. It's ready for sale right now, online. What I need you to do is post it, and when you're done posting it, ship it for me. So my son does that. And this guy pays him $110. The work that he did, really in reality, was only worth $10. Clickety, 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 clickety. Put a postage stamp on it and mail it. It's $10 work. Where'd the $100 come from? Why would he pay him $100? What convinced this Yaru to come and pay my son $110 to just clickety, clickety and put it in the mail? Huh? That was a $10 job, not a $110 job. Where'd the $100 come from? From the 10 that you gave to the homeless guy 2 weeks ago. That's where the $100 came from. But we don't look for the return. We don't expect it. We think some magic is going to happen, that Allah's going to magically make it happen for us, right? So, and we don't even trust that much, so we don't give, right? The reason many of us are suffering financially is because we don't give in the way of Allah. Take my word for it. I guarantee it. Give more and receive more. Guaranteed. So, I think that answered all the questions and comments, huh? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala khair inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.